Funded accounts. They are the biggest scam this industry has ever seen. Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your favorite trader, the master of coin, and in today's video we're going to be speaking everything about funded accounts. What the industry doesn't tell you, what you need to know, the benefits, the drawbacks, and exactly how you can pass one of these challenges if you so wish. So with that being said, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy a cup of tea because we're going to drop some sauce today. Sheesh. So in the intro of the video, pretty clearly I said, funded accounts are the biggest scam known to man. Now, is that necessarily true? Now, to be honest with you guys, it was a little bit of a clickbait. I have to be honest. Why? Because if we don't do that, I won't be able to get the true messages across. And my goal in this industry is to deliver truth. There's a lot of bullshit in this industry, let's be honest, man. And there's a huge conflict of interest, especially in this industry, and especially talking about funded accounts. So what I want to do today is give you a completely unbiased opinion. And how do you know it's unbiased? Because I have nothing to sell you. You see, a lot of these funded accounts that you see on YouTube, all these different funding videos and how to pass all this rubbish, they're only doing it because they've got an affiliate link to give you. So when you go and fail the challenge, they make money off it. So look, let's really get into this. Now, before we can really, dive deep and again, talk about all of this, how to pass it, all the drawbacks and so on and so forth, let's define what a funded account is. So there's a million different ways to define what a funded account is. It's simply when you pay a company to trade on a demo account. Now, once you trade on that demo account, you're going to have certain rules and requirements to meet. And if you complete these objectives, rules, requirements, then after you've completed that, you'll be given a live account with a certain amount of capital, which obviously you can trade on. Now, once you've got that live account, the profits you make on there, of course you can withdraw, but there's a profit split. Even though there's a profit split, of course you can get paid out, but you still have to actually respect certain rules post-funding. So it's not as easy as, okay, you just get a funded account, you just pay a challenge and get $1 million to trade with. No, you're first going to trade on a demo account. You're going to have to meet certain requirements. And of course, once you do that, then you get access to the account. Now, what are different funded accounts out there? And let's really take a look at this. So we've got so many companies, right? We've got FTMo, for example. Now, FTMo, in my opinion, is probably one of the most popular ones and probably the most trustworthy. Now, again, when I say this, I'm not trying to tell you to go and do a funded account. So I just want to show you different options. And then what we're going to do is we're going to explore the rules, explore the requirements. So you got the understanding of what it is. Then we're going to be talking about everything else you need to know. So what FTMo do is they give you a 3-step challenge where first one, you have to pass an evaluation stage, a further verification stage on the demo account. And then once you've passed that, obviously you're now going to get on your live account. So they have certain trading objectives. So you can choose any sort of account currency, whether it's dollars, pounds, euros, whatever it may be, or you can choose a normal and aggressive risk. And of course, you can see the different balances here. What you can do as well is you can actually combine 3 accounts with FTMo eventually. So you can actually have 200K, 200K, and a 200K account, combine all 3, and obviously have 600K. But again, it's not that simple. You have to pass these challenges. So step 1, right? You have a 30-day trading period where you have to trade for a minimum of 10 days, meaning you have to place a trade for 10 days. You can only lose 10% in one day. You have a maximum daily loss of 5% of the account balance. So in one 24-hour period, if you lose more than 5% of that account balance, of course, you're going to fail the challenge. If you lose a total of 10% of the account balance, of course, you fail the challenge. But once you make a profit target of 10%, then you can pass phase 1 and then move on to phase 2, where you have a 60-day period, right? Again, minimum 10 trading days. But again, you have a maximum daily loss of 5% with a maximum total loss of 10% and a profit target now of 5%. And finally, once you pass all of them, you become an FTMo trader where there's no trading period, there's no minimum trading days, but again, there's still that max daily loss and still that maximum loss as well of 5% per day, 10% in total, and they actually say they refund you, your fee because you do have to pay. Again, there's different options out there. You've got things like my Forex funds. Now, my Forex funds, in my opinion, have slightly better rules as well. Again, they got the rapid challenge and evaluation challenge and accelerated challenge. If we go to the accelerated challenge, you can see that they have a 5% daily drawdown. But look, I don't want to go into all the different rules because I'm not trying to promote these accounts. I just want to help you guys guys become aware of a couple different options. There's so many more out there, it's ridiculous, but I just want to get you guys a detailed understanding of the actual truth behind these accounts. When it really comes to it, guys, let's talk about the actual truth behind it. And I want you guys to really understand the industry we're a part of. So when it comes to funded accounts, right, you need to understand their business model as a baseline. And with their business model, there is a natural conflict of interest. Now, what do I mean by conflict of interest? Well, you as a trader, right, what do you want to do? You want to pass the challenge and you want to make money and obviously trade on these larger accounts so you can make larger profits. But what you got to understand and what you got to remember is that 99% of traders are failing in this industry. So if we've got 100 people attempting this challenge, 99 of those people are probably going to fail and only one person will pass. So do you think they're going to make more money off a 70 or 80% profit split from one person? Look, think about it, right? So let's say one person passes the 100k account. So he's got 100k capital. So if he makes 10% on that account, he's made 10,000. But in reality, FTMo will take 30% of that. So FTMo will keep 3,000, right? And I'm just going to say FTMo because that's the funded account. And then the trader will get around 7,000. Think about that. If we've now got 99 people attempting the 100k account, which is in this case 540 euros. If we do quick maths,
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3, quick maths.
540 times 99, that is 53,000 they're making from people actually failing. So what do you think they're going to be making more of their money from? This is what I mean by conflict of interest, guys. They don't actually care if you pass the challenge because they're not giving you live capital straight away. They're putting you on a demo account, and obviously if you can prove yourself, then you get it. So naturally, they don't care if you pass or not. They're just trying to make a profit from you going and paying them. So we've got one conflict of interest where the companies make profit from you failing. Now we've also got another conflict of interest from affiliates. Now what do I mean? All these proprietary funds, they offer affiliate links where they can go to an influencer, or an influencer can go to them and say, look, I've got a certain amount of following. So if you give me a special referral code, I can bring you sales and I want to cut from that. So you've got a lot of these affiliate people promoting, oh, all these funded accounts, how amazing they are, and not giving you the truth behind it. So they're only giving you one angle. They're only telling you how great they are, but not also telling you the drawbacks and how detrimental they can be to your trading journey. Furthermore, you've got affiliates pushing you false information, telling you to risk certain amounts, telling you you're going to be a millionaire overnight. So when you first come into it, you're thinking, oh my God, I can get 100k in literally 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. Oh my God, I'm just going to throw my money at these challenges and become rich. And again, they don't care if you pass or fail because they don't get a cut from your profit split. They're getting a cut from the fee you're paying to do the challenge. So we have to be aware of this conflict of interest. We have to be aware of all of the angles of the car crash so we can make a logical and justified decision whether this is something we want to go ahead with. So how can we make an unbiased approach and how can we make a logical decision? So we have to weigh up both sides of the argument. So let's first look at the advantages, right? The advantages of these funded accounts. So the first and most obvious advantage is that you're getting access to a lot more capital. See, if you're coming from a background like myself, I wasn't brought up with a family of money. Having large amounts of capital wasn't easily accessible to me. So seeing something like, oh my God, I can trade a 100k account, in some cases, $1 million account, oh, it was so exciting to me. So what it can do is it can actually give you a boost with how much money you can make in trading. And to be honest with you, having larger capital can actually make it a bit easier for you to trade. Now, how can it make it easier? Because, for example, right, if you make 10% on a $100 account, that's only $10, right? You're not going to be satisfied with that. But if you make 10% on a 100k account now, or that's 10k, that may be your monthly salary and that may cover all your monthly expenses. So you may not feel kind of pressured to make more trades if you've obviously got that foundation put in place. But again, to get to that 1% that actually succeeds is a very, 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 very hard journey. And anyone that tells you otherwise is trying to probably take your money off you. Another advantage is that they're taking on the risk as well. Because if you blow that 100k account, well, you don't actually take on the risk. You're not liable. Even though they've got parameters that will obviously probably cut off the accounts, you're not actually liable. So if you lose that 100k account, no problem. You can go back and do another challenge again and be funded again if you obviously pass it again. Furthermore, they can also help you build your resume as well. If you're looking to, get access to a lot more funding, we're talking over $10 million plus, it can also help you with your track record as well, proving that you can actually trade on a larger capital. But unfortunately, guys, there's actually a lot more hidden disadvantages that everyone's trying to shy away from and hide from you. Of course, if you know any more advantages about these funded accounts, please drop them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. But let's really get into the disadvantages of these accounts now. So what are some of the disadvantages? The first and the largest one is the time pressure. Normally, when you could do these funded accounts, they have a certain time limit in which you have to pass the challenge. So let's say that is 30 days or 60 days. What that's forcing you to do now is trade under pressure, because you've got a time limit at the back of your mind. And because you've got this time limit at the back of your mind, that can now result in you forcing to make certain positions. That may force you to deviate from your trading plan because you have that desire to pass the challenge. Let's say, for example, you're coming up near the last 5 or 10 days of your challenge and you still haven't met that certain target. Well, now you may feel pressure to go ahead and complete it. You may feel pressure to take more trades. You may feel pressure to be in front of the market more so that you can go ahead and pass, because you don't want to lose that smaller investment. And obviously you want to pass and you want to be funded. You also have the pressure of meeting certain targets. You see, when you trade your own account, you haven't got to meet a certain target. I don't believe in having trading targets. I have points where I'll stop trading if I make a certain percent, yes, but I don't have a target at the set of the week. I don't have a target at the start of the month or the start of the week, because when you have a target, in my opinion, that's going to force you to do the wrong things, because now what you're doing is you're starting to chase profits. You're starting to chase a certain goal. And if you're chasing something, by definition, it's running away from you. So you shouldn't be focusing on the time. You shouldn't be focusing on the target. And what this means is that you're now deviating from the sole essence of trading. What do I mean? The sole essence of trading is not to make money, and the sole essence of trading is not to grow an account. The sole essence of trading is to follow your rules and stick to risk management. And the profits from that will now be a byproduct of your discipline from trade management and risk management, and obviously following your trading plan. So when it comes to these funded accounts, you're not even focusing on following your rules. You're not even focusing on managing your risk, because you're now blinded by the glamorous lifestyle, what you're gonna live when you get access to this account. All of a sudden, your trading set of rules have gone out the window because you're so pressured now and you're so focused on making this money and passing this challenge. You're forgetting your rules. You're forgetting your risk management, and in turn, probably blowing up. So now what's happening is you lost the challenge. You're getting even more demotivated because you think you're a bad trader. But what you got to remember is all passing a challenge means is that you can trade aggressively. That's all it means. Now, when it comes to trading aggressively, of course, this is a little bit subjective, whether it's advantage or a disadvantage. So what I'm actually going to do, to be unbiased, I'm actually going to put this one in the middle. Some people, again, they perform better under pressure. Some people, they perform better when they trade aggressively. However, my approach to the market is I shouldn't be trading aggressively. I should be trading conservatively. I should be trying to protect my capital. I'm trying to trade defensively to focus on protecting my capital rather than offensively and putting my capital at risk. So what you're doing is when you pass a challenge, you're getting trained to trade very aggressively, to train under pressure. But now passing the challenge, you have a complete different problem, because you've just focused on being able to trade aggressively, but there's a difference between being able to pass the challenge and able to maintain a consistent equity growth, because now you're gonna have to start trading more conservatively to keep that account. So what you're doing, in my opinion, is you're now training two different muscle groups. You're trading your aggressive nature, then you've got to train your patient nature. So again, we're now training two muscle groups. And when I say muscle groups, I kind of mean skill set. I'm talking about, the habits and the qualities you need to trade aggressively or trade conservatively. You're training two different and practicing two different styles. Because obviously when you're trying to pass it, you've got targets to meet, you've got a time pressure to obviously complete it in. But once you've obviously passed it, there's no targets to meet and there's no time pressure that you have. With these targets, again, that can force you to overtrade, that can force you to force and get in positions that don't even follow your set of rules. And that can now cause you to make mistakes. Another thing is trading larger figures can actually scare some people. You see, when they're trading on their own account, they're obviously probably trading a lot less capital. So they're not used to seeing, a $500 stop loss. They're not used to seeing a $1,000 stop loss, or they're not used to seeing a 5K profit or a 10K profit. So when they're seeing these larger figures, what's happening is their emotions start taking over. When they're seeing blue profits on obviously their MT4, what happens is their brain starts releasing dopamine. Their brain starts releasing all these happy chemicals. So what happens now is their mind is becoming completely clouded. So they're not going to be able to think logically now because their emotions have actually swept them away. If you want to know more about that, guys, you can actually view my whole video where I speak about this in a lot more detail about the emotional side of trading and how it can sabotage you without you even being aware. If you do want to check that out, of course, you can check my channel or the link will be in the description to that. So yeah, some people, they can't handle seeing larger figures on their account. They may cut their trades too early. They may cut their trades too soon. You know, it may have not hit their stop loss yet, but because they're seeing a larger than what their comfortable risk in terms of dollars, they may get too scared and think, oh my God, this is a free $400 loss. Oh, let me close it before it gets bigger. And what they're doing again is they're deviating from the logical trader. They're now thinking emotionally. They're not thinking systematically. You see, when you trade, it should be a system. When I trade, I haven't got to think. I've got my system. I know how to trade. I know my predefined levels. Everything is predetermined before I'm even in the market. So there's no thinking required. It's all predetermined based on my system, based on my algorithm. So what you want to start doing is obviously thinking in percentages, but we'll speak a lot more later about how you can actually pass these and actually give yourself the best chance to go ahead and, you know, pass this challenge if that's something you want to do. I'm not, again, condoning it. I'm not saying do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I just want to give you guys advantages and disadvantages so that we can ultimately make our own independent decisions, because that's what it's all about. You know, my goal here is not to tell you do it or don't do it. My goal is to empower you with the right information so that you can go ahead and make your own informed decision without someone with a conflict of interest trying to force you to pay this challenge so they can make a commission fee on it. Another disadvantage is that you have no guidance. You see, what some people do is they jump straight into these challenges without having a proven system. They have, well, the majority of people, let's be real, because they're so blinded by the marketing strategies. You know, they're thinking about, oh, this Lambo, oh, this holiday I'm going to go on. But again, they're deviating from the essence of trading, which is A, being able to follow rules, and B, being able to manage risk. And because they haven't got that experience trading their system, when they go into these accounts, they're just literally getting slapped left, right, and center. I would say the final disadvantage is the greed nature. You know, people start thinking about all this money they can make, all the holidays they're going to go on, all the stuff they can buy, all the things they can do. Their greed starts taking over, and of course the emotions come involved, and again, that's a whole another can of worms for another day. And of course, if you can think of any disadvantages, let me know in the comments down below. So you're probably thinking now, should I really go ahead and do one of these challenges? Is it worth it? When it comes down to it, it's completely personal preference. Now, if you are going to go ahead and do a challenge, again, I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm not going to tell you not to do it. I think it all depends on your personal circumstances. But I think there are a lot more things you can do if you do want to go ahead and go down that route of being funded. There's a lot of things you can do to well prepare yourself so that you're not going in and getting completely blown up. In conclusion, are these funded accounts necessarily bad or are they amazing? Should you really do it? What is the final verdict? I can't give you that answer. You have to be your own critical thinker. And if honestly, guys, if you're constantly looking for someone else to tell you what to do, tell you where to put your money, hey, that may not be the best approach. You want to become independent. If you can build that baseline of consistency, if you're building your own account and you've got a track record of at least 3 to 6 months, can pass a few of the free trials and you're still struggling on capital, hey, go ahead, give it a try. But only if you've got that consistency. If you're still struggling to get consistency and you're new, no way, you should never do that. Build your consistency first, and if you feel like your account's not compounding at a rate you desire, or you haven't got access to a lot of capital, yeah, you could go ahead and do that and fund your own account. Essentially, what I wanted to do in today's video is give you an overview of these funded accounts, the pros and the cons, so that you can go ahead and make an informed decision about them if that's something you want to do. Are they scams? Some of them, maybe. Right? If you do want to get into them, do your due diligence, look at reviews, figure out how long they've been around, figure out what country they're based in, figure out if they're regulated, think about if they've actually had student success. And if they are having student success and proof of withdrawals and proof of payouts, how long have they been doing that for? Read the terms and conditions. There was a proprietary fund that came out a few months ago, which everyone was going crazy about. And all of a sudden, once people started to pass it, and people started to make money and started to pay out, all of a sudden they actually dropped the payout split from 80% all the way down to 10%. Make sure you do your due diligence, you do your research, guys, and if you do go ahead and do it, make sure you're honestly ready. There's no rush to go ahead and pass it because you are exactly where you're meant to be. Yes, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're going through right now, family, that is part and that is integral to your growth. And if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like you're not evolving, that's because there's certain lessons that you're failing to see. Everything is a cycle, and you'll keep going through the same cycle until you can learn from that And from learning from that information, you'll then increase your awareness. And now because you've got a higher level of awareness, you can make new decisions, which will ultimately lead to different results. I know people are asking about my mentorship and about my course. Look, I do offer mentorship, of course, but it's not going to be necessarily easy. Anyone who's marketing this thing as easy, again, they just want to take your money. I want to change the narrative of this industry. Instead of people hearing Forex as, oh, it's a scam and most people fail, I want this industry to be something where, oh, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a trader. That's the thing I want. I want my kids to look up to me and say, you know what, I want to be a trader. I want to be like my dad, rather than people thinking, oh, this industry is a scam, this industry is dodgy. I want to rebrand this industry, and I want to actually bring all the bullshit to the surface, so you know where the scammers are, you know what the bullshit is, and you can actually succeed in this industry because you're getting the truth and the right information. Of course, I do have a mentorship program. Yes, I do. If you want to be a part of it, you can shoot me a message on my Instagram. Link will be in the description, and we'll have a conversation. Am I guaranteeing you I'll mentor you? No. If we fit together and you meet certain requirements, yes, we can definitely work together. Because there's nothing more that I enjoy than teaching people that are passionate and are dedicated to learning this skill set. So if that's you, hey, you know my Instagram is, link in the bio. If you enjoyed the video, drop a comment, drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and let me know, guys, what you'd like to learn. With that being said, it's been the Master of Coin, and I'm going to see you guys all at the top, from the top, because you already know, man, the bottom is way too crowded. Sheesh!